I'm speaking today because I've been a member of Christ Church Cathedral since 1955, with a decade or so of absence here and there. And in that time, I've had a lot of experience and a lot of opportunities to become confused about stewardship. Most of the year, I don't think about my money. April's an exception, because that's when Uncle Sam gets his share. But this time of year, I think about it as well, but differently. We're just starting into stewardship season. In about a week's time, around October 24th or 25th, we'll be sending out pledge packets asking everyone to consider financially supporting the work and mission of Christ Church Cathedral in the coming year. Well, that has got me thinking about October and April and what the difference is for me. When I think about parting with money, I often think about it the way I do in April. I don't want Uncle Sam to have any more of my money than I have to give him. Maybe that comes from being the son of a CPA and the brother of a CPA. But it's not just about taxes. I've always worried that I've paid too much for my cars. That started in college when a friend of mine asked me, "Do you think I can get $400 for this car?" I said, "No, you can get $450 easy." Fool that I am, I then decided I wanted to buy the car. And I didn't pay $400. It was no longer available, so I bought it and cursed myself as I wrote the check. I can think of all sorts of ways in which I've plotted to keep from spending more than I had to. Senior discounts, veteran discounts, Black Friday. I even went to the Big E on opening day because veterans get in for free. They don't get free parking though. I've thought about what it is that makes stewardship time different from tax time for me. Let me tell you a couple of stories that have absolutely nothing to do with stewardship, but do help me thinking about money. Many years ago, my wife and I went out to dinner with my brother and my sister and their spouses to Beefsteak Charlie's. I said it was a long time ago. At the end of the meal, my brother and my brother-in-law disappeared. Unbeknownst to each other, they had gone seeking our waitstaff. Each wanted to pay the bill for the table and not fight over it. I don't remember who paid. I'm just glad that I didn't. If you eat out, what do you leave for a tip? 10%? 15%? 20%? A flat rate like $2 per person for a low-cost meal? A couple of days ago, Rachel and I went out to breakfast with one of Sarah's cousins, Jeff. We went to a small diner in West Springfield. When it came time to pay, the cousin treated us great. What surprised me was when he tipped the waitress, it was close to 50%. And he didn't leave it on the table. He sought out the waitress, thanked her, and handed her the cash. I want to keep my money because it is mine. I know. We recite, "All things come of thee, O Lord, and of thine own have we given thee." But do I really mean it? Making an exception when giving it away means giving it to my own. People that I know and love. Others have to show a claim on my money. My family and friends do not. My brother and brother-in-law wanted to provide for their family and rushed to pay the bill. My wife's cousin paid for family, but went even further, giving far more to the waitress than custom and etiquette required, and went out of his way to do so directly and personally. He showed he valued the person who had served us. What has that got to do with stewardship? Well, in a little while, we're going to say the Lord's Prayer, as we do each time we come together. The other name for the prayer is the Our Father. Jesus taught us to call on God as Father, as family. Some translators change our Father to Daddy, reflecting the intimacy of this relationship. Have you noticed how often we refer to each other as brother and sister? We are family. When a couple of decades ago, Sarah and I decided to marry, we went to Champion's Sports Bar in Tower Square and wrote down the names of those people we wanted to invite to the wedding on a bar napkin. The number would determine how we would plan. We had both been married before, so we wanted something very small and intimate. The list by blood grew larger and larger, and then we started thinking about the rest of our family, our Christ Church Cathedral family. Just as we couldn't invite just some of our genetic family, we also couldn't invite just some of our Christ Church Cathedral family. That's how we ended up getting married during the 10 o'clock Eucharist on a Sunday morning. All of our family, genetic and Christ Church Cathedral, could come and share with us. So when October comes around, I'm not thinking about how I can pledge the minimum to Christ Church Cathedral, how I can reduce the pledge from the MSRP for the cathedral, but how can I share even more with my family, with my brothers and sisters at Christ Church Cathedral, in supporting its ministry and mission. So, my sisters and brothers, in a week or so, when you receive the pledge packets, perhaps you can ask yourself the same question.
Amen. Thank you, Mark.